G'day, I'm Jerry Coleby Williams. I've been gardening in Australia for almost 30 years. I've gardened in Perth, Sydney, and now I'm in Brisbane. I'll be at Leaf 2021, where I'll be talking about how to grow food in your garden all year round, even if you've got a small space. But first up, here are 3 of my top tips which I can share with you now. Here's my first tip. I've got a reasonable sized garden, about 800 square metres, and I've got 37 different types of fruit tree here. The reason I can fit them all in is firstly, some of them I grow on a dwarf rooting stock, and that keeps the trees compact all year round. Now this big tree behind me is a jackfruit, and allowed to do its own thing, it'll be a monster. So what I do is I prune it, and I keep it to a safe picking height. Now a safe picking height for me is climbing up on a set of steps and being able to reach out and safely pick the fruit. That's the height that I allow it to grow to. Any bigger, it won't be safe for me to pick. So remember that if you can't get dwarf rootstock for your fruit trees, secateurs and pruning saws are your friend. Prune the trees to a safe picking height. Here's my next tip. Growing plants in pots in a small space can be really productive. Here I've got elephant foot yams growing in the soil, and I've tried to look after them as well as I can. Here I've got an elephant foot yam growing in a pot, and it's doing twice as well. The secret? Growing them in a pot and filling the saucer with water every day, so this plant gets as much water as its heart's desire. That's the way I boost production. Now if you come with me, I've got something else to show you. Here I've got a similar thing. This is turmeric growing in the soil. This is turmeric growing in a pot. The only difference is, because I've given it all the water it needs, I've doubled my crop. Now you can extend it further. This is a tray of watercress, only they're growing in 100mm pots. Now I fill them up with water whenever they need it. It's incredibly productive. I grow all the herbs I need this way, in pots, in trays, and I check them for water once a day. It's so productive and it doesn't use much water. My last tip is to experiment. When I first came to Brisbane, I had no idea what a winter melon was, but they're incredibly popular as a vegetable in Southeast Asia. Now, I can tell you, having grown them, that with $2 worth of seed and 10 square metres of good soil, you can grow a family's supply of these vegetables for an entire year. What I love best about these is that they store underneath the house, no refrigeration, no preparation necessary, and it's a really versatile vegetable. It's as good as a tropical zucchini. So do try and experiment. You never know what your next favourite vegetable will be. Now if you found those tips handy and you'd like to learn more, get down to Leaf at Meadowbrook on the 23rd of May, and I'll be there to share more tips and tricks about how to get the best out of your garden.